making macaroni and cheese with ham in it. So first of all, I get my pan of water. I'm gonna cook my macaroni. I should use elbow whole wheat, but I don't have any. So I'm using regular. Regular elbow macaroni. So it'll do, but I would rather use whole wheat, but I don't have any. So you use what you got. So I'm heating the water up. I'll cook probably, I'm not gonna make a huge one, I'm gonna make a small one. I'll cook probably half of this box up. Okay. Then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna shred my cheese. I got natural sharp cheese and Monterey Jack. I'm gonna use half of each. Okay, I like a lot of cheese in my macaroni and cheese, so I'm gonna use half of this right there. I'm gonna shred that. And I think I'm gonna use, yeah, half of a Monterey Jack. It's all right. It's all right. Cheese is good for you. Very good for you. Okay? Put those two back in the refrigerator. And we'll shred these. Now, got my little old trusty hand shredder from 50 years ago. And I'm going to shred it. It melts better when you shred it. Okay, so after I do this, I'll cut up a little bit of onion. I can remember how to make it. I haven't made this in a long time, so I'm kind of winging it, but usually when you wing it, it comes out pretty good. And if it doesn't, you just add more butter, more cheese. And then what I'm going to do to it is, before I bake it, I'll put it all on together, and then I'll put it in a baking pan. I'm going to add pieces of ham that I have in the refrigerator, left over from a big, beautiful baked ham we had. So it's, oh, that's nice cheese. That's beautiful cheese. Nice. All right. You could probably cut this in little chunks instead. Okay, the cheese is shredded. Now I'm going to cut up a little onion. Diced onion. You want to call it diced, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Cut it like that. Little pieces. There we go. Little outer skin's a little tough, so we don't use it. And another. The heck is that? Diced onion. Nice and thin. And maybe a little more. Make this a little thinner. Outer skin's fat, tough. There, perfect. And there's the onion cut. My water is boiling, so I'm going to put in my half a box of macaroni. About a half a box, about a half a box. Stir it once. Make sure it's a half a box. And not quite half a box. Make sure you have half a box. Okay, now it's a half a box. Let it come to a boil, turn it down. Back to here now. Leave it uncovered. If you cover it, it'll bubble over. Okay, we're going to put in here, and this, we got a pan. Good. We're going to put in here half and half. All the half and half I got. Probably a cup, cup and a half. Need more. Heavy cream, light cream. Go with the leftover light cream. Let's date on this. Okay. So we probably got in here maybe 2.5 cups of milk, heavy cream, light cream. Put the onion in there. Put some flour in here. The flour will be the thickener, because you gotta thicken it a little bit. So we put maybe a couple tablespoons of flour in there. Yeah, a couple tablespoons would be fine. A couple tablespoons. Whisk. You make the flour dissolve in the cold milk. Never put flour in hot liquid, it will get lumpy. Why you ever hear a lumpy gravy? Because somebody put it in hot liquid. Flours or cornstarch, whichever thickener you want to use, always has to go in cold stuff. Otherwise, it gets lumpy. So now that is ready to go. Now, we're gonna take our pasta, put that back there on that burner. And we're gonna use this front burner here, and we're gonna put the cheese in what we just did here. Get out of there. Okay, cheese. And we're gonna melt the cheese and the milk and the flour and the onion into like a sauce on low. On low. Let me see that, yeah. Okay, on low. So here we go. What we're going to add to this is just a little bit of salt and pepper, and of course, good old standard crushed pepper, and garlic salt, of course. My Lowry's garlic salt. I don't know what I would do without this stuff. It's wonderful. We'll put some garlic salt in there. And we'll put some brown pepper in there. And we will put almost a stick of butter in there. Alrighty. And we start stirring that. And that is absolutely deliciousness. Because you got the cheese, you got the butter, you got the heavy cream. Oh, is it wonderful. And while this is heating, we're making us keep that on low. We'll keep that on low so it heats slowly. Our noodles are cooking. We're not doing too many noodles, because you don't want too many noodles. Noodles are not that good for you. Not at all, carbs. So now, we get the ham out. Now, I had ham left over from the ham the other day. Keep stirring that every so often. It's on low, so it shouldn't come up too quick. And I'm going to cut up some beautiful pieces of ham. That came from the ham the other day. If there's any fat in it, my husband will not eat it. So I got to make sure there's not one little piece of whiteness in here. If there is, like that little piece of whiteness, it goes away. Of course, you might be able to disguise it. Disguise it in the macaroni and cheese, but I doubt it. He might think it's a piece of cheese. Nah. So I'm going to cut a whole bunch of ham up. Little pieces. That's so the grandkids will eat it. Because if they think it's good for them, they won't eat it. And Gotta stir my mac. Gotta stir my cheese. I see it bubbling. You can't let it burn on the bottom. What will burn on the bottom is the flour. Beautiful. Just melting. Nice sauce melting. My hands are a mess. Okay. Okay. Get this out of the side here. Take a look at here. Get that burner. That burner is so hot all the time. I don't know why. Caught it just in time. See, it's getting nice and thick now. Okay. Let me see if the noodles are done. Take a little noodle out. Noodle. And take one noodle out. Whoops. All right. Get them over here. Yep. Noodles are done. So I'm going to turn this off because I don't want it to burn. This is done. Turn that off. Get the colander out and drain the noodles. Drain the noodles. You can rinse the noodles if you like. You don't need to. Then I'm going to get my pan here, my big pan, which I'm going to put everything in right here. It's all done. That lovely sauce smells delightful. Okay, turn it this way. I'm going to add my ham into the sauce. I think that's enough ham. Sure, plenty. Okay. And take my sauce off. I'll show you what this looks like. There's the sauce. Cheese sauce with the ham in it. Okay, nice. Beautiful. See the consistency? So it's not going to be really hard macaroni and cheese. I hate that when it's like that. Okay. Bring the noodles over. Put the noodles in. Okay, the noodles are to there. See? Okay, about that much. Then you take your sauce stuff. You just pour it in there. Pour it all in there. Got to be that consistency, because if it's not that, if it's thicker than this, when it cooks and gets hard, it's going to be like a rock, and you don't want macaroni and cheese like a rock. You want it nice and mucky like mud, because there's nothing better than mucky mac and cheese. Horrible when you get it at the store and it's like a clump of cake. Okay, so there's the mac and cheese. Now, if you want to, with the ham in it, if you want to, what you can do is you can put breadcrumbs on the top of it and then bake it. But otherwise, you're going to put it in the oven now, bake it at 350 for a half hour. What does that do? It makes the cheese bake in more with the noodles. That's it. And then we're done. And I am going to put breadcrumbs on the top of it just because it looks prettier. So on top of this, I'm just going to sprinkle some breadcrumbs. Well, that's a fine howdy-do. All right, let's see if I got some other breadcrumbs. That's salt, no other breadcrumbs, okay? So I have to fight with this can to get it open. Oh, can opener, here we go. Okay. Let's hope this will work. Okay. Say maybe I won't be putting breadcrumbs on. Yes, I will. What kind of breadcrumbs are these? Hannaford's. They better make a better top. All right, I'm going to take this breadcrumbs, sprinkle them on the top. It looks better now it's baked. Okay, so there we go. Ready to bake this? 350 for a half hour. That's it.